ke modisana. Ntate e ne e le modisana. Ke tla ba modisana bophelo bohle ba ka.
We're in the mountain kingdom of Lesotho, a landlocked country that's often called the kingdom in the sky. Lesotho is a unique country that's made up of one ethnic group speaking one language. The shepherds of Lesotho probably represent the least reached group within Lesotho. These shepherds, who look after the animals on which this economy is largely based, are to be found outside the villages, in the very high mountains where the grazing is best. Shepherds represent the least reached group in Lesotho, and they also represent the most marginalized. Shepherds, by and large, have a separate life, a life outside mainstream village life. And they've developed their own subculture and their own identity, of which they are legitimately proud. These are people who have tremendous skills and knowledge, and yet those are skills and knowledges that are often undervalued or not valued at all by the mainstream culture and village life. It's these elements of culture that we would love to see God use and missions use in order to reach the shepherds of Lesotho in the mountains. Churches are found throughout Lesotho except for the mountain regions where the shepherds live. This is one area where you will not find a church. One of the reasons for that is that traditionally the church in Lesotho is very literacy based. The literacy rate in Lesotho is very high compared to other African countries, and the church has traditionally used literacy as a means to evangelism. This does leave many shepherds beyond the reach of the mainstream church, because by and large shepherds become shepherds when they are young, 5 or 6 years old, and they don't have the opportunity to learn literacy skills. 12 years ago, Steve and Pam Hill from AIM started a ministry to reach shepherds in Lesotho. They started it here in the village of Mudumong, starting literacy schools which offer shepherds the opportunity to learn to read and write. This program has expanded, and we've seen shepherds come into the program and meet Christ. However, this is only able to reach the shepherds who've got some contact with village life, those who are in areas like this. It can't reach those who are in the mountains, those who are so dislocated that they live in almost entire isolation. Conventionally, translating the gospel into somebody's language normally means giving them the scriptures in their own language. However, here we want to use the oral literacy skills that the shepherds have to create an orate Bible school. A Bible school that will teach shepherds the Bible, will teach the theology that surrounds them, so that they might be prepared to explain the gospel, explain the very rich gospel that we have in the Bible. So clearly this is going to be an unconventional Bible school, and a Bible school that has no books, that'll depend on audio recordings, that will help shepherds to tell clear stories and to be able to explore the theology that surrounds those stories. To do this, we clearly need theological educators. We would love to see people with linguistic skills coming forward to translate the gospel into the shepherd's own language. Throughout Scripture, we can see that shepherds have played a central role in God's story. And I think it's typical of God to use those whom we consider weak to shame those who are strong, those whom we consider to be uneducated to shame those of us who believe that we are so wise. Shepherds are a people set apart, but we trust that these are people set apart for God's purposes, and we long to see shepherds of animals accept the calling to be shepherds of men.